From above, the Pacific Ocean looks peaceful, endless, and almost motionless.
But beneath this beautiful ocean surface, the planet is not still. The ocean hides a world of pressure, heat, stone, and movement. What seems like silence is only the surface of a much larger story. We now descend into the Pacific Ocean, where the hidden power begins. Above us, the ocean is bright. Below us, the earth begins to reveal itself. The deeper we go, the more the ocean changes from beauty into mystery. The Pacific Ocean is not only a body of water, it is a cover over a moving world. Below this ocean, entire plates of rock move slowly through time. They move too slowly for the eye to see, yet strongly enough to shape the planet. This ocean floor is not an empty place. It is a map written in stone. Every crack beneath the ocean tells us that Earth's crust is under pressure. Here, beneath the Pacific Ocean, pressure builds where no sunlight reaches. The surface above may be calm, but this hidden ocean floor is constantly changing. If the ocean water vanished, the Pacific would not look smooth at all. It would reveal mountains, trenches, fracture zones, and scars carved into the ocean floor. Some of these ocean trenches are deeper than mountains are tall. These are not empty holes in the ocean. They are places where Earth's crust bends downward. At the edges of the Pacific Ocean, one plate can be forced beneath another. This slow descent is the beginning of the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is not a perfect circle of flames. It is a horseshoe of geological pressure around the Pacific Ocean. Around this ocean, tectonic plates meet, collide, slide, sink, and fracture. This hidden boundary crosses the edges of continents, island arcs, and deep ocean basins. Volcanoes rise here because the ocean floor is being recycled into the planet. Some volcanoes reach the sky as islands. Others remain hidden forever beneath the ocean. The ocean hides much of Earth's volcanic power from human eyes. Here, fire does not need the open air. It can build new rock beneath the sea. Under the Pacific Ocean, heat, water, and stone meet in darkness. The seafloor itself seems to breathe where Earth's interior reaches the ocean. These hidden vents show that the ocean floor is not dead rock. Even in darkness, the ocean can turn heat into life. The same force that creates life here can also store enormous danger. Along these boundaries, the ocean floor can become locked in place. The plates keep trying to move, but friction can hold them together. Stress can gather beneath the ocean for decades, or even centuries. The quiet years are not proof that nothing is happening. When a locked boundary finally breaks, slow motion becomes sudden release. This is how the hidden ocean floor can become the source of a powerful earthquake. If the movement is strong and shallow beneath the ocean, the water above can be displaced. A tsunami does not begin as a wall of water. It begins when the seafloor moves. In deep ocean water, this energy may pass almost unseen. The Pacific Ocean can look peaceful while a force is already crossing it. This is the danger of the hidden ocean floor. What happens below can travel far beyond the source. The Ring of Fire connects trenches, volcanoes, earthquakes, and ocean waves into one vast system. And it is not a single doomsday switch. It is a long chain of active tectonic edges. The scale is difficult to imagine because the ocean hides almost everything. From below, the Pacific Ocean feels like a lid over a restless planet. The world above sees waves. The world below holds the engine. Now we understand why the calm ocean surface can be misleading. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, stone descends, melts, rises, locks, and waits. To understand this hidden power, we must follow the ocean floor downward into the process that drives it all.
The Ring of Fire begins not with flame, but with descent. In the next part, we enter the subduction zone, where the ocean floor is pulled back into Earth. Here, beneath the Pacific Ocean, the Ring of Fire begins not with flame, but with descent. At the edge of the Pacific Ocean, one massive plate is being pulled beneath another.
This process is called subduction, the slow return of the ocean floor into Earth.
Oceanic crust is colder and denser than the rock above it, so gravity helps pull it down. The movement is slow, often only a few centimeters each year, but its power is enormous. A motion too slow to watch can still reshape the entire ocean basin. As the ocean floor sinks, it drags sediment, water, and ancient rock downward with it. Water trapped inside minerals begins a journey deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. As the slab sinks, pressure rises, temperature increases, and the hidden chemistry begins to change. The ocean floor does not simply disappear. It transforms the world around it. Water released from the descending ocean plate lowers the melting point of surrounding rock. This is where magma begins, not from random fire, but from pressure, water, and heat. Above the sinking slab, the deep earth starts to melt. The magma rises because it is hotter and lighter than the rock around it. Over time, these rising paths can feed volcanoes beneath the Pacific Ocean. This is why the Ring of Fire is lined with volcanoes. The fire begins deep below, but the ocean hides its first signs. Some magma builds new seafloor without ever touching the sky. When lava meets cold ocean water, it cools quickly and hardens into new stone. The Pacific Ocean floor is not only being destroyed at trenches, it is also being created by volcanic heat.
Subduction destroys old crust, but it also gives birth to volcanic arcs and new terrain.
This hidden engine creates seamounts, volcanic islands, and entire underwater mountain chains. A seamount may look still, but its origin is written in the movement of plates. Where heat escapes into the ocean, the seafloor begins to breathe. Hydrothermal vents are signs that Earth's interior is reaching into the ocean. Minerals carried by hot water build chimneys in the darkness of the Pacific Ocean. In this hidden ocean world, heat becomes chemistry, and chemistry can become life. Even without sunlight, the ocean can support life near the heat of the Earth. Subduction is not only a destructive force, it is also a creator of hidden ecosystems. But the same process that creates heat and life also stores danger along locked boundaries.
Where the descending ocean plate meets the plate above, friction can stop the movement. The plates continue pushing, but the boundary holds them in place.
Energy gathers slowly beneath the Pacific Ocean, hidden from the surface world. For decades or centuries, the ocean above may look completely calm.
The quiet years are part of the earthquake cycle, not proof that nothing is happening. Every locked section is a place where slow motion can become sudden release.
When the boundary finally breaks, stored energy can move the ocean floor in seconds. This is the link between subduction and the largest earthquakes on Earth. The same boundary that creates magma can also lock enough energy to shake entire regions. The subduction connects the deepest trench, the hidden magma, the volcano, and the earthquake.
It is not fire first. It is motion first. The fire comes later.
And when that fire reaches the ocean floor, a new hidden volcanic world begins. Many of the Pacific Ocean's most active volcanoes never touch the sky. They erupt in darkness, under pressure, surrounded by cold seawater. This is where subduction reveals its most dramatic face beneath the ocean.
The sinking ocean plate below has awakened fire above.
The Pacific Ocean floor is being destroyed, melted, lifted, and rebuilt at the same time. Here, the hidden engine of the Ring of Fire becomes visible. Subduction explains why the Pacific Ocean holds trenches, volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunami danger in one system. Now that we have followed the ocean floor downward, we can follow the fire upward.
In the next part, we enter the world of submarine volcanoes, where fire does not need the sky.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the planet is not only sinking, it is beginning to burn. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, fire does not need the sky to begin. Here, the Ring of Fire reveals itself in darkness, pressure, and silence.
Most people imagine volcanoes reaching into the air, but many are hidden beneath the ocean.
This volcano has no ash cloud, no mountain skyline, and no watching crowd.
Its power is hidden below the sea, where sunlight never reaches.
Under pressure, even a quiet ocean floor can become a volcanic landscape. Magma rises through fractures, searching for a path into the ocean.
When lava enters the Pacific Ocean, fire and water meet in an instant.
The ocean cools the lava quickly, turning molten fire into new stone. These rounded forms are pillow lava, one of the signatures of underwater eruption.
The ocean floor is being built one cooled layer at a time. A submarine volcano is not only a place of destruction, it is a factory of new terrain. Every slope records older eruptions beneath the ocean, layered in darkness over time. Some eruptions build slowly, while others reshape the ocean floor in sudden bursts. Not every eruption is glowing lava. Sometimes the ocean floor exhales heat through mineral smoke. With
hydrothermal vents form where seawater enters cracks, heats below, and rises again, loaded with minerals.
In the deep ocean, minerals can build towers where heat escapes from the earth. These chimneys are monuments to the hidden connection between the ocean and Earth's interior. The seafloor seems to breathe, exhaling heat from a world far below. Around these vents, the ocean becomes a place of chemistry instead of sunlight. Even here, in darkness, life finds a way to gather around heat.
These organisms do not depend on sunlight. They depend on chemical energy rising from the ocean floor.
Microbes turn minerals into energy, and that energy supports an entire community. The same heat that can destroy also creates a place where life can survive. This is the great contrast of the ring of fire beneath the ocean. It buries old crust, builds new ground, and changes the shape of the seafloor. A volcano beneath the ocean can grow silently for centuries.
Layer by layer, eruption by eruption, it becomes part of the underwater landscape.
Underwater volcanoes are difficult to see, but their signs are written in heat, bubbles, and stone.
An eruption beneath the ocean, chemical changes, floating pumice, and evidence on the seabed.
But the ocean hides the drama, but it cannot erase the record.
After the heat passes, the ocean floor eruption. New rock is born hot, then sealed Pacific Ocean.
Here, time is layered across the ocean floor.
Submarine. Even underwater, volcanic slopes are shaped by instability and pressure. Gas, heat, and pressure rise through cracks long after an eruption begins to fade. The volcano becomes a living machine of rock, water, heat, and chemistry. This hidden world proves that destruction and creation are not separate beneath the ocean. Life gathers at the edge of heat, where the deep ocean should seem impossible. Above the vents, the Pacific Ocean remains cold and silent, hiding everything below.
From the surface, none of this fire can be seen.
The ocean hides not just one eruption, but a long history of volcanic change. Across the Pacific Ocean, countless volcanic worlds rise from the seafloor. Some will never become islands, but they still shape the ocean around them.
Minerals from these vents paint the ocean floor with traces of Earth's interior.
Old vents die, new vents open, and the volcanic system keeps changing. But even in the deep ocean, nothing here is truly frozen in time. The same heat that feeds the vents also reminds us that pressure is still rising below.
A submarine volcano is connected to forces much larger than the vent itself.
Behind the lava and vents lies the same tectonic engine that bends the ocean floor downward. The volcano is the visible breath of a hidden system beneath the Pacific Ocean. But the same boundary that creates volcanic fire can also lock dangerous energy in place. The Ring of Fire does not separate volcanoes from earthquakes. It connects them. Where the plates become stuck, the next story begins. The hidden fire builds new worlds, but the locked boundary stores the power to shake them. In the next part, we enter the locked boundary, where a megathrust earthquake can begin. Here beneath the Pacific Ocean, the hidden fire gives way to a different kind of power. This is where the ocean floor can become locked by friction. The plates continue trying to move, but the boundary resists. The movement does not stop. It becomes stored energy. Over decades or centuries, the upper plate can bend like a spring. The ocean above may look calm, while stress gathers below. A megathrust fault can extend for hundreds of kilometers beneath the ocean. Its scale is difficult to imagine because the ocean hides almost everything. The same system that builds volcanoes can also store earthquake energy. Nothing dramatic may happen at the surface for a long time. The quiet years are part of the earthquake, not proof that the ocean floor is still. Stress leaves small signs before the great release. Gas, pressure, and motion reveal that something deep below is changing. The boundary is locked, but the force behind it keeps pushing. This is the silent tension of the Pacific Ocean. Like a compressed spring, the ocean floor holds energy until the locked section can no longer resist. Then, in seconds, the locked boundary begins to fail.
The release starts in one place and races through the boundary.
A vast section of Earth's crust can move in moments. This sudden movement is the heart of a megathrust earthquake. The shaking begins below the ocean, where no city lights can see it. The rupture can travel across an enormous fault surface. This is why the largest earthquakes on Earth are often born at subduction zones. When the ocean floor moves vertically, the water above cannot remain still. The earthquake changes the shape of the seabed in an instant. The first sign of danger is not always a giant wave, but a displacement of the entire ocean column. Far above, the ocean surface may still appear peaceful. but the source has already released energy into the sea. Not every part of the boundary moves the same way.
After the main break, the ocean floor may continue adjusting.
Each adjustment reminds us that an earthquake is not a single simple moment. The surface can hide the scale of what has happened below. The earthquake leaves behind a landscape of broken rock, lifted sediment, and changed pressure.
A fault scar on the ocean floor is the visible wound of hidden energy release.
If enough seafloor moves upward or downward, the ocean itself begins to respond. This is the moment when an earthquake can become something more than shaking. The entire column of ocean water can be disturbed from seafloor to surface. A movement in darkness can send energy toward distant coastlines.
In deep water, this energy may travel almost unseen.
The rupture may last only moments, but the consequences can travel across the ocean. Subduction, friction, rupture, and displacement are linked in one hidden chain. Even after one section breaks, other parts of the ocean boundary may continue to store energy.
This is why the Ring of Fire must be understood as a long-term system, not a single event.
The Earth is not angry. It is releasing stress stored in stone. From above, the Pacific Ocean may still look unchanged.
But beneath that calm ocean surface, the seafloor has already moved.
The danger of a megathrust earthquake is not only the shaking. When the ocean floor shifts vertically, the sea above it can be lifted. This is how the hidden earthquake can become a tsunami. A tsunami begins not as a towering wave, but as the ocean being displaced. In deep water, the first movement may be almost impossible to see.
In the next part, we follow that energy as it crosses the Pacific Ocean and becomes a tsunami.
Beneath the ocean, the boundary has broken. Now the water begins to move.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the boundary has broken, and now the water begins to move. A tsunami begins when the ocean floor moves and displaces the water above it. But this is not a wind wave. It is the movement of the ocean from bottom to surface.
The entire ocean column is disturbed, and the energy begins to travel.
In the deep Pacific Ocean, the first sign of a tsunami may be almost invisible. The source may be hidden beneath the sea, but the energy does not stay there. A tsunami can cross enormous distances while the ocean surface still looks calm. But far from shore, the Pacific Ocean may show almost no dramatic height.
The danger is not always in what the eye can see. The wave is long, fast, and filled with energy.
Across the Pacific Ocean, the energy moves over landscapes hidden far below the surface. Even underwater mountains feel only a passing motion as the energy continues outward.
In deep water, the tsunami is not yet the image people fear. It is not a wall from nowhere. It is energy moving through water. Rock moved first, water followed, and now the ocean carries the message.
From above, the Pacific Ocean can still look peaceful while the force is already traveling.
This is why tsunamis are so dangerous. The ocean can hide them until they approach shallow water.
As the wave nears of shallower ocean, the story begins to change.
The ocean becomes shallower, and the long wave begins to slow.
The seafloor starts to slow the wave from below.
As the wave slows, its energy is squeezed into a smaller space.
The hidden motion begins to grow into visible force.
Near shore, the ocean floor feels the change first. The energy that was almost invisible in deep water now begins to rise. The ocean surface changes because the whole water mass is being forced upward. What was low and fast in deep water becomes higher and more dangerous near shore. A tsunami near shallow water is not just a wave. It is a moving mass of ocean.
Sometimes the first warning is a strange retreat of the sea.
When the ocean pulls away suddenly, it can be a sign that a stronger surge is coming. The ocean does not always announce danger with height. Sometimes it begins with motion.
Then the sea returns with the energy gathered across the basin.
The force is not only above the surface, it moves through the full depth of the water. This is why even a modest-looking tsunami can carry enormous power. Near shore, the Pacific Ocean can transform from calm surface into a relentless moving force.
The source may be far away, but the result can arrive with little time to react.
Below the surface, the tsunami is a current as much as a wave.
The shape of the ocean floor can focus and strengthen the moving water.
Every coastline receives the energy differently because every seafloor is shaped differently.
A tsunami is physics. Rock moves, water is displaced, and energy spreads.
The chain begins at the ocean floor and ends wherever the energy reaches shallow water. To understand a tsunami, we must connect the quiet surface to the hidden seafloor.
The ocean remembers the movement long after the first rupture has passed. One movement in darkness can send waves across thousands of kilometers of ocean.
This is why the Pacific Ocean demands understanding, not panic. Fear alone does not save lives. Understanding the mechanism does.
Science cannot stop the ocean floor from moving, but it can listen. Warnings begin with measurement, observation, and respect for the ocean. The more we understand the deep ocean, the better we can live with an active planet. The Pacific Ocean is dangerous because it is alive with movement, but it is also readable.
After the surge, the ocean may look peaceful again. But beneath that calm blue surface, the same geological system continues to work. The tsunami is not separate from the volcano, the trench, or the earthquake.
It is one chain of motion beneath the Pacific Ocean.
Even after disturbance, the deep ocean continues to create life around heat. The same hidden forces that can threaten coastlines also build new worlds beneath the sea. The Ring of Fire is both warning and creation, danger and renewal.
Here, life survives not by conquering the ocean, but by moving with its relentless forces.
The same forces that sculpt these waves will soon carry the influence of Antarctica north, bringing with them the deep, cold breath of the ice. We are now entering the Drake Passage, the gateway to the frozen continent. Here, the ocean currents collide with the first signs of ice. Moving beyond the ice, the ocean reveals its power. And there, on the edge of the world, a shape unlike any cloud or wave beckons. As we push through the swirling mist of the Southern Ocean, the first signs of the Antarctic ice begin to emerge.
Plunging beneath the surface reveals the true architects of this world. Immense ribbons of current flow across the seabed, moving mountains of ice unseen.
Rising from the depths, the ocean reveals its true power. The living wind of the Drake Passage gives way to the silent majesty of Antarctic ice. Here, the Drake Passage reveals itself as a living system. We move now towards the story of the ice. Emerging from the mist of the violent Southern Ocean, the first giants appear. Blue and white sentinels, beginning their long voyage north. Emerging through the mist, the great glacier stands silent, a wall of frozen history, while the dark waves crash below. Against these walls of blue ice, the waves of the Southern Ocean spend their fury, a timeless battle between water and frost. Antarctica holds its secrets in the ice, a vast, frozen memory, contrasted by the restless sea. Adrift in the formidable swells of the Drake Passage, this solitary iceberg begins its final voyage, a silent messenger from the deep south.
Rising from the turbulent ocean, the iceberg's visible peak suggests the immense mass hidden beneath the waterline.
Below the turbulent surface, the true scale of the iceberg is revealed, a colossal structure of ancient ice extending deep into the dark ocean abyss.
Here, beneath the waves, the ancient ice begins its slow, inevitable return to the sea. Meltwater streams carry.
Here, frozen land meets the moving sea. This quiet exchange of meltwater fundamentally alters the ocean's chemistry and currents.
Rising from the depths, we witness the sheer magnitude of the iceberg. Here, wind and wave collide with millennia of compressed ice. The Drake Passage possesses a raw power unmatched anywhere on Earth, constantly reshaping the Antarctic coastline.
The ocean slowly breaks, moves, and transforms the frozen landscape, demonstrating an unstoppable force.
Wonders. Here, at the edge of the Antarctic, the Drake Passage lives up to its fearsome reputation. A place of raw power.
Between these towering monoliths, the ocean's fury is trapped, a violent contrast to the stillness of the ice. Leaving the icy embrace of the bergs, the open ocean beckons. Here, the world of ice merges with the dark,
The Drake Passage is a place of immense power. Here, the ocean's ceaseless current demonstrates that even the most ancient.
Passing through the arch, the true scale of the Southern Ocean reveals itself. Dark waters and floating ice stretch toward the distant peninsula.
The dramatic currents of the Drake Passage carry these ice fragments, a visual testament to the hidden power of the Antarctic circumpolar current below.
Beneath the surface, the cold currents begin their journey, a vast planetary pathway moving ice and water in a cycle spanning the entire globe.
As the meltwater trails sink and spread, the ocean absorbs the cold freshwater memory, fundamentally altering the deep currents.
Here, the ocean reveals its true complexity. Layers of temperature, salt, and melting ice converge in a dynamic, global climate space. Emerging from the depths, the visualization reveals the vast currents circling Antarctica, accelerating as they funnel through the narrow Drake Passage.
What appears as energy from space is revealed at the surface as the immense power of the ocean, where the exchange of cold water drives global circulation. The sheer power of the ocean is evident here. Yet, this small autonomous research buoy shows us that even this battered by the relentless waves of the Drake Passage, this solitary buoy continues its silent vigil, recording the vital statistics of the Southern Ocean.
Even as the storm rages above, deep beneath the waves, the true power of the ocean currents remains constant, observed by silent scientific sentinels.
Here, in the vast expanse of the Drake Passage, the ocean itself becomes an observatory without...
Rising from the depths, the ocean's true power becomes evident. The hidden currents measured below reveal a climate story unfolding violently at the surface.
The Drake Passage, a turbulent gateway where the world's oceans converge, driven by forces that shape the global climate. As the massive iceberg slowly turns, the powerful waves carve deep into its base, demonstrating the relentless force of the warming sea. Here, the ancient ice surrenders to the sea. Drop by drop, the Antarctic meltwater begins its long voyage.
As the wind strengthens, the ocean reminds us that even climate processes are wrapped in violence, motion, and the profound cold of the water.
Here, at the edge of the world in the Drake Passage, the ocean reveals itself as a vast, powerful transport system.
Look closely at the foam lines stretching eastward. They reveal a massive circulation pattern moving far beyond the confines of the Drake Passage.
Hidden beneath the waves, the deep currents silently carry the signals of a changing climate, a powerful force shaping the planet's future.
These luminous currents represent the raw, physical power of the Drake Passage, connecting surface life with the deepest reaches of the ocean. The ocean currents are relentless. They transport these fragments across the globe, even as the warming waters slowly begin to break them apart.
Cast adrift from the frozen continent, these fragments begin their final journey, surrendered to the warming currents. Life here is defined by the elements. The albatross, master of the wind, navigates the turbulent sea and the towering ice of the Drake Passage.
These waters are a reminder that some forces are far greater than any single creature.
As the storm finally recedes, the ocean reveals its true, powerful rhythm, a reminder of nature's enduring strength. In the Drake Passage, where Earth's motion becomes visible, the softening storm reveals the relentless drift of ancient ice. We descend into the ancient currents, a restless ocean, shaped by the relentless wind and the slow march of ice, a world unfinished. As the camera turns south, we see the true source of global ocean influence. Antarctica. As the last signs of the continent vanish behind us, we face the raw power of the open ocean. Pure wind, pure water, planetary scale. Here, the ancient forces of geography, wind and current converge, shaping the very face of the planet. Here, at the edge of the world, the clouds momentarily part, revealing the terrifying beauty of the Southern Ocean. Each wave carries the memory of wind, hidden current, deep seafloor, drifting ice, and the cold breath of Antarctica. As the last iceberg yields to the dark sea, the ocean continues its timeless journey, carrying the memory of Antarctica. Here, in the vastness of the Drake Passage, no map, no ship, no instrument, and no human voice can truly tame this waterway. The immense power of the Southern Ocean is revealed as storm clouds and drifting ice merge with the dark sea of the Drake Passage. As this six-part journey concludes, the Drake Passage reminds us that the ocean is still alive, still violent, and still beyond human control.
Between desert and deep ocean, the Red Sea hides a world far more alive than its surface suggests. From above, this ocean looks narrow, but below the surface, it opens into a vertical kingdom. The desert disappears, the heat fades, and the ocean begins to reveal its hidden world.
At first, the reef looks like paradise, a living ocean city filled with colour, fish, and light.
But this beauty is not peaceful in a simple way. Every fish here lives close to danger.
In this ocean, coral is not only shelter, it is a maze where every path can become a trap. The Red Sea Ocean is a corridor of predators, where every layer has its own hunter.
Beyond the reef edge, the ocean changes. The blue becomes deeper, quieter, and more dangerous.
Hammerheads patrol the blue, reef sharks guard the walls, barracudas wait in the current, and silent hunters hide below. So who truly rules this narrow ocean corridor? The answer begins here, inside. To understand who rules this ocean, we must begin with the reef, the living city where every hunt starts.
For small fish, the reef is protection. But for predators, it is also a map.
Every shape has meaning here. A narrow branch can save a fish, and a narrow passage can guide it toward danger. In this ocean, fear moves faster than teeth. One shadow can change the entire reef. The reef does not simply hold life, it organizes life, forcing fish, hunters, and currents into patterns.
Even the open sand is part of the ocean's design. It looks empty, but hidden hunters may be waiting below. Power in the ocean does not always come from above. Sometimes it waits silently beneath the floor.
The Red Sea Ocean is narrow from above, but underwater it rises in layers, and each layer has its own danger.
Where the reef ends, the blue begins. And in that open ocean, a different kind of ruler moves.
This is why the question is not only which creature is strongest. The real question is, which predator controls which layer of the ocean?
Beyond the reef wall, the Red Sea Ocean opens into a deeper world, where distance itself becomes power. The hammerhead does not need to rush. Its shape alone tells every fish that the open ocean is not empty.
Its strange head is not a mystery of design. It is a living sensor built to read the ocean.
This predator connects layers, from coral walls to deeper water, from visible reef to hidden blue.
The Red Sea Ocean is not only narrow, it is vertical, and the hammerhead uses that vertical world. Down here, the reef is no longer a city of color. It becomes a memory of light above the hunter. Its presence travels ahead of its body. The fish feel the pressure before the shadow fully arrives.
The hammerhead may rule the blue edge, but the reef itself still protects those fast enough to read the warning.
In this ocean corridor, even after the shadow leaves, the behavior of the reef has already changed.
But the hammerhead does not rule the coral itself. Closer to the reef, another hunter keeps the ocean city alert. But the hammerhead does not rule the coral itself. Closer to the reef, another hunter keeps the ocean city alert.
A reef shark does not need violence to command attention. Its patrol alone sends a warning through the ocean.
Here, power is rhythm. The shark follows the wall, and the fish reshape themselves around its path.
The reef gives fish places to hide, but it also gives predators routes to follow.
A single shark can turn open water into risk, and a safe path into a difficult choice.
Not every reef shark moves the same way. Some patrol the edge, while others wait inside the hidden architecture of coral.
In the Red Sea Ocean, even a resting predator changes how fish use space.
In shallower ocean light, another reef shark carries the same message. The open edge is never neutral.
These sharks do not simply hunt fish. They shape the behavior of every fish that shares the reef.
Reef sharks rule the patrol line, but above the coral and inside the current, another predator waits like a silver blade.
Reef sharks rule the patrol line, but above the coral, another predator waits in perfect stillness.
Barracuda do not command the ocean by size. They command it by timing, patience, and sudden speed. In this narrow ocean corridor, stillness can be more frightening than motion. One break in the pattern, and the quiet ocean becomes a chase.
The reef saves some fish, but the open water always demands a price for hesitation.
But not every hunter in the Red Sea Ocean needs speed.
Some rule by waiting inside the reef itself.
The grouper does not need the whole ocean. It only needs one cave, one ledge, and one careless fish.
Below the reef, the ocean hides another kind of power, silent, flat, and almost impossible to see.
The ray does not patrol the wall or chase through the current. It reads the ocean floor like a secret map.
So who truly rules this narrow ocean corridor? The answer is not one creature.
The Red Sea Ocean does not begin with predators alone. It begins with the reef that makes predators possible. The Red Sea Ocean does not begin with predators alone. It begins with the reef that makes predators possible.
A reef is a city built by living animals, filled with streets, rooms, tunnels, and hidden doors.
Every narrow path can protect a fish, but every narrow path can also guide it toward danger.
In this ocean, danger often arrives first as pressure, not as teeth.
The reef creates choices, and in a predator's ocean, every choice has a cost.
Grazing fish feed in the open, but they never forget the shelter behind them.
Small fish survive by reading space, current, shadow, and distance to coral.
A school can disappear into coral in a heartbeat, leaving the ocean above it silent. The reef protects life by hiding it, releasing it, and hiding it again.
But the same shelter that protects prey can also conceal a hunter.
Predators learn these paths because the reef teaches fish where they must pass.
A gap that lasts only a second can become the most dangerous place in the ocean.
Safety is never permanent here. It is borrowed from the shape of the reef. This is why the Red Sea Ocean feels larger than it looks. It is narrow, but it is layered.
Between coral walls, even sand becomes part of the hunting system.
What looks empty from above may be crowded with hidden life below.
The reef connects the bottom, the wall, the current, and the blue water beyond.
A shallow coral garden can become a deep wall in only a few meters.
At this edge, the ocean is divided into those who hide and those who hunt.
Current turns the reef into motion, and motion reveals where fish must go.
To feed in the current, fish must risk exposure. To survive, they must measure every meter.
Not every predator is a giant. Some are smaller pressures that keep the reef alert.
In the reef city, position can matter more than speed.
A healthy reef supports many kinds of fish because it creates many kinds of opportunity.
Where there are many fish, there are many eyes, many warnings, and many chances for a hunter.
The reef can look peaceful until every fish vanishes at once.
Survival here is a rhythm of leaving, hiding, and returning.
The architecture of coral decides how the ocean moves. At the slope, the reef becomes a border between the crowded city and the unknown blue. The closer fish stay to structure, the more choices they have when danger arrives.
The blue beyond the wall is not empty space. It is another hunting ground.
This is the first lesson of the Red Sea Ocean. Predators are not separate from the reef. They are products of it.
The reef keeps fish alert, and alert fish keep the entire ocean city moving.
Every meal is a calculation. How far from shelter? How long in the open? How close to the current?
The reef is not one solid wall. It is a network of safe zones divided by danger.
Ambush does not need open space. It needs a place where prey must pass.
Even one coral tower can contain many worlds: surface, shelter, shadow, and risk.
The more complex the coral, the more complex the hunt becomes.
A healthy reef creates density, and density brings both abundance and danger.
Where current touches coral, food arrives, fish gather, and predators learn to wait. Where current touches coral, food arrives, fish gather, and predators learn to wait. Above the coral is opportunity. Inside the coral is safety. Between them is the risk that shapes every fish. The reef begins every hunt, but not every hunter stays inside it.
The reef surface holds small fish, the caves hold patience, the sand holds secrets, and the blue holds distance.
Where the wall ends, the reef stops controlling everything, and the open ocean begins to take over.
This boundary is one of the Red Sea's most powerful places, where shelter ends and true open water begins.
Beyond the reef, power belongs to animals that can read distance, depth, and current. And when the reef wall falls away, one of the Red Sea's most iconic shadows begins to appear. The reef has shown us where every hunt begins. Now the ocean will show us what moves beyond its walls. Beyond the reef, the Red Sea Ocean belongs to distance, depth, and shadows. The hammerhead is not a reef hunter. It is a reader of open ocean space.
Its strange shape is not weakness. It is a tool built to sense the hidden signals of the ocean.
Here, the coral city fades, and the ocean becomes a map of current, depth, and motion. The Red Sea is narrow from the sky, but underwater it falls into a vertical world. A predator that can move through depth has access to a larger world than a reef-bound hunter. This is the hammerhead's power. Not only strength, but access to many layers of the ocean. It follows invisible roads where current carries scent, movement, and the possibility of prey.
The hammerhead does not need to enter the reef to make the reef feel watched. Small fish answer the shark with distance, shelter, and sudden silence.
This is not the rule of constant attack. This is the rule of presence.
Its body is built to search, to sense, and to move across ocean space with patience. Farther from coral, the ocean becomes less visible, but not less alive. Out here, the hunter belongs to the space between what can be seen and what can only be sensed. When it returns toward the reef, the ocean reacts before the shadow reaches the wall.
The hammerhead rules the open edge, but coral still gives smaller fish a chance.
From inside the reef, the blue ocean is not empty beauty. It is exposure.
A single passing shadow can freeze a reef more completely than a sudden strike.
When the hammerhead leaves, the fish move again, but the memory of the open blue remains. When the hammerhead leaves, the fish move again, but the memory of the open blue remains. But the hammerhead does not rule the coral itself.
Closer to the reef, power moves in a different rhythm.
Here, the reef shark becomes the moving pressure along the coral border.
It does not need to be the largest predator to change the order of the reef.
The reef gives fish shelter, but the shark turns every open lane into a decision.
A channel is not just a passage. With a shark nearby, it becomes a test.
The reef shark reads edges, walls, current, and hesitation.
Its power is not chaos. Its power is order.
Once the patrol passes, the reef relaxes, but never completely. Some reef sharks patrol in motion. Others turn the hidden spaces of coral into quiet danger. Even resting, a predator changes the way fish approach the reef. In shallower light, another shark carries the same ancient pressure.
The blacktip moves through sunlight, but its message is the same. Open water is never neutral.
The shark does not simply search for food. It shapes the movement of everything smaller than itself.
From inside the coral, even a passing shark becomes the sky of danger.
Predators create caution, and caution shapes where fish feed, hide, and travel. This is why reef sharks matter, even when they do not strike.
Walls, channels, slopes, and currents give sharks edges to follow. The reef learns the rhythm of patrol, and every fish inside it learns to answer.
Current brings information, and a shark knows how to read it.
Here, the Red Sea's narrow shape does not limit life. It compresses it. Reef sharks rule not by owning every space, but by making every space matter.
But the patrol line is not the only zone of power.
Above the coral, in the open lanes of the ocean current, another hunter waits for one perfect moment.
The hammerhead rules the blue edge. The reef shark patrols the wall. But speed is about to change the rhythm of the ocean. Part of the Red Sea is ruled by depth, part by patrol, and now the current belongs to the silver blades.
In the current above the reef, the Red Sea ocean changes rhythm again. Barracuda do not rule by size. They rule by stillness before speed.
The ocean looks calm, but every fish beneath them is calculating distance to shelter.
For prey, the reef is safety. For barracuda, the space just outside it is opportunity. A current can become a corridor, and a corridor can become a trap.
One instant of hesitation, and still water becomes a chase.
The reef saves the quick, but the open ocean punishes the separated.
Barracuda power lives in contrast. Long patience, then one precise explosion of speed.
Where current touches coral, food gathers, fish gather, and predators learn the timing.
The current feeds the reef, but it also exposes every fish that moves too far from shelter.
In this layer of the ocean, power belongs to the animal that knows when not to move. A school survives by becoming one body, one turn, one warning. Barracuda do not chase chaos. They look for the one place where order breaks. A few meters of separation can turn a bright ocean lane into danger. Speed is not only movement, it is the ability to arrive before escape becomes possible. After every burst, the ocean returns to stillness, but every fish remembers the cost of drifting apart.
The reef shark controls the wall, but barracuda control the open lane above it.
Their bodies are built for clean acceleration, with no wasted movement and no warning. The barracuda waits like a blade, because the ocean will bring the moment to it. Around it, the reef moves, the fish move, the current moves. The hunter waits. The fish know the roof of the ocean can become a strike from above. In the Red Sea, the same current that brings food also brings risk.
Barracuda are not the only fast hunters here. The current attracts many predators built for sudden pursuit.
Trevally bring weight to speed, turning the open lane into a moving wall of pressure.
Every fast predator makes the reef more valuable to the fish that can reach it.
Here, speed has many shapes, each one reading the same current in a different way. The open lane rewards hunters that can cross distance before prey can organize. But among these fast hunters, barracuda remain the masters of the sudden moment. The reef creates the passage, the current sets the direction, and the barracuda waits where both become one.
This is not random hunting. It is structure, timing, and reaction.
In the rule of reaction time, survival belongs to those who turn first. Speed rules the open lane, but coral still rules the final refuge.
This is why no predator controls the whole ocean. Each ruler has a boundary.
After the chase, the reef becomes more cautious, more organized, more alive to danger.
Predators shape the ocean even when they do not feed.
The map is not drawn in sand or stone. It is drawn in movement.
For the viewer, they are beautiful. For the reef fish, they are the shape of the open water's danger.
The Red Sea Ocean gives them a perfect stage. Clear water, strong current, and fish forced close to structure.
But the reef has predators that do not need open water or sudden acceleration.
Below the silver hunters, the reef holds a slower kind of power.
Here, dominance is not measured in speed, but in position.
A cave can be shelter. It can also be a mouth in the architecture of the reef.
After the speed of the current, the Red Sea Ocean now reveals the power of waiting. The current belongs to the silver blades, but the caves belong to hunters that never need to chase. To understand the next ruler of the Red Sea, we must leave speed behind and enter the shadows. In the next layer, the Red Sea Ocean will show us that silence can be just as dangerous as speed. Here, the Red Sea Ocean leaves speed behind and enters the kingdom of patience.
The grouper does not need open ocean speed. It controls one place completely.
Its greatest weapon is not only its body, it is position.
The reef builds the stage.
and the grouper chooses the best place on it.
A predator does not need to strike to control the movement of fish.
This is ownership through stillness, a small kingdom ruled by waiting.
In the reef, the most dangerous distance can be the last few inches. A ledge is not just rock. It is a boundary between visibility and surprise.
The Red Sea Reef is full of doors, but not every door leads to safety.
The grouper's world is not wide like the hammerheads, but inside this structure, its control is complete.
And in smaller cracks of the same ocean city, another hidden hunter waits.
The moray does not need a wide territory. It turns a crack in the reef into danger.
In this layer of the ocean, visibility belongs to prey, but concealment belongs to the hunter.
The reef does not only create shelter for fish, it creates invisibility for predators.
Every fish that passes this crack must decide how close is too close.
Inside the reef, the ocean becomes a maze of safe routes and forbidden openings.
Some predators dominate by making fish avoid spaces they cannot see into.
The reef gives life many exits, but every exit opens into another risk.
Grouper and moray share the same lesson. In the reef, structure can be stronger than speed.
But not all hidden power waits inside the coral.
Below the reef, the ocean floor hides a quieter kind of hunter.
The sand seems empty because the predator has become part of it.
The ray does not chase through open water. It reads the ocean floor.
Leave quiet traces.
To larger predators, the sand may look empty. To the ray, it is full of signal.
Only the bottom hunter understands.
The cave, the crack, and the sand are different worlds, but all belong to the same ocean system.
Power does not always cast a shadow overhead. Sometimes it waits beneath a thin layer of sand. The danger disappears not because it leaves, but because it becomes invisible again.
The sand is not a gap between important places. It is an entire layer of the hunt.
In this lower world, the hunt happens through contact, pressure, scent, and patience.
Each hidden predator controls a different part of the reef's lower architecture.
The grouper holds the cave, the moray holds the crack, and the ray reads the sand.
Through several kingdoms of danger. This is not chaos. It is a layered order built by coral, sand, and patience.
The Red Sea is not ruled from one throne. It is divided into many small territories.
Every day.
But none of these hunters owns the whole ocean. Each rules only the layer it understands best.
Now the answer becomes clearer. The Red Sea is not a kingdom of one predator, but a system of many layers.
The hammerhead owns the blue edge, the reef shark patrols the wall, the barracuda controls the current, and the hidden hunters rule the structure below.
Above all of them, the reef itself writes the rules.
It creates shelter, ambush points, current breaks, sand borders, and the density of life that makes predators possible.
To ask who rules the Red Sea is really to ask who controls which layer.
It is hidden in the balance between them.
In the final layer, the Red Sea Ocean will reveal that dominance is not a crown. It is balance. After all the
Red Sea is not ruled by one creature. It is ruled in layers. It owns the open edge, but it does not own the reef itself.
The reef shark rules the patrol line, making the coral edge a place.
But how every fish moves when it appears.
Above the coral, the barracuda rules the moment when stillness becomes speed. In the open lane, reaction time can become the difference between survival and disappearance.
Inside the reef, the grouper rules by patience and position, where invisibility becomes control. On the sandy floor, the ray rules the world that many predators ignore.
It reads the floor the way a shark reads open water. Each predator rules a place, but none of them rules the entire ocean alone.
The real structure is not a throne. It is a map of layers.
For small fish, survival means knowing which layer belongs to which hunter.
Predators create caution. Caution shapes movement. Movement shapes the reef.
A reef is more than coral. It is coral plus fish, grazers, predators, current, sand, depth, and time.
When predators disappear, the ocean does not simply become peaceful. It becomes different.
A reef may still look alive, but one invisible layer of control can be missing.
A predator's presence is part of the reef's rhythm. The grouper changes how fish use the cave. The barracuda changes how fish hold together.
The ray changes how life moves across the bottom.
Each predator is a warning, a boundary, and a force in the movement of the reef.
Balance does not mean peace without danger. Balance means every role still exists.
The Red Sea is narrow, but vertically it becomes an entire world.
Its narrow shape does not limit life. It compresses life into intensity.
Coral, current, sand, caves, and depth all sit close enough for predators to share the same corridor.
A fish does not experience the ocean as scenery. It experiences the ocean as choices.
Even in calm water, the reef remembers danger.
A hammerhead may own the blue edge. A reef shark may patrol the wall. A barracuda may control the open lane.
A grouper may hold the cave. A moray may guard the crack. A ray may read the sand.
But the system belongs to all of them, and to none of them alone.
Above all predators, the reef itself rules the rules.
It builds the shelters, the hunting lanes, the current breaks, and the density of life. Without the reef, the predators lose the structure that gives their power meaning. Without predators, the reef loses part of the pressure that keeps it dynamic. Caution shapes movement. Movement shapes feeding. Feeding shapes coral. Coral shapes shelter.
And shelter shapes the next generation of reef life.
This is the Red Sea's real power. Not one monster, but a living network.
Dominance here is not noise. It is pressure moving quietly through every layer.
From above, this may look like one narrow sea. Beneath the surface, it is many worlds stacked together.
Every fish, every coral branch, every shadow, and every current carries part of the answer. The question was never only who is strongest. The question was, who belongs to which layer?
The answer is not one king.
The Red Sea is ruled by balance, fragile, ancient, and moving quietly through every layer of the reef. A hammerhead may own the blue edge, but the blue edge is only one part of the story.
A reef shark, a barracuda, a grouper, a moray, and a ray each hold a different piece of power.
But no piece is the whole ocean.
The real ruler is the relationship between them.
In a world so narrow, steep, and alive, dominance is not a crown. It is balance.
In northern Norway, land does not end gently. It breaks apart into fjords. Here, the ocean is not scenery. It is the force that decides where life can remain.
The coast is shaped by wind, ice, and ocean, and every edge feels exposed to the next storm. In winter, the light can fade for weeks, and the ocean turns almost black beneath the Arctic sky. Small fishing villages cling to the ocean's edge, as if one more storm could pull the world into the dark water below. These houses do not stand apart from the ocean. They survive by staying close to it, and by respecting its power.
The ocean gives fish movement, memory, and danger. It feeds the coast, then tests it without warning.
This is not the soft coastline of a warm sea. It is a place of cold currents, rough weather, and sudden life. The ocean cuts into the land through fjords, carrying salt, cold, food, and the rhythm of survival. From above, the coast looks frozen and severe. But beneath the ocean surface, nothing is still. The secret of this coast begins below the waves, where the ocean moves long before life becomes visible. Above the sea is wind and ice. Below the sea is current, darkness, and hidden energy. In this cold ocean, life begins quietly, almost invisibly, in the movement of water and light.
The smallest life in the ocean prepares the way for fish, birds, whales, and people.
When the ocean gathers enough food, small fish arrive, and the silence begins to change. A single fish is fragile, but in the ocean, thousands can move like one living body.
The Arctic Ocean teaches life to move together, to read pressure, shadow, current, and danger.
Above the sea, wings begin to gather. Below the sea, silver movement calls the coast awake.
The birds read the ocean from above, searching for the first signs that fish have risen.
Even the wind becomes part of life here, lifting wings above the restless ocean.
The fjord looks silent from far away, but the ocean beneath it is beginning to concentrate life.
Then, from the cold ocean, a breath appears, proof that giants have followed the fish. The ocean has sent a signal, and the largest hunters in these waters are beginning to answer.
Nothing here is random. The ocean gathers prey, and every predator must arrive at the right moment.
The same fish that shine beneath the sea also lift life into the sky. Here, ocean, mountain, bird, fish, whale, and village are not separate stories. They belong to one system. Northern Norway is alive because warm and cold meet at the edge of the ocean. The sea gives, and the sea tests. It opens the coast, then closes it with storm and ice.
People do not conquer this ocean. They build beside it, waiting for weather, fish, and season to allow life forward.
A harbor here is more than shelter. It is the thin line between the village and the open ocean.
In winter, the ocean becomes a dark mirror, reflecting a sky that barely remembers the sun.
Yet even in darkness, the sea keeps moving, carrying warmth from far beyond the frozen north.
The first answer to this coast lies under the waves, where currents soften the Arctic edge.
Warm Atlantic water pushes north into a polar world, and the ocean becomes a living boundary. Where ocean water mixes, nutrients rise. Where nutrients rise, the smallest life begins to bloom.
Plankton feeds small life. Small life feeds fish. Fish will